What if I told you all the biggest obstacle between you and your goals, whether you're stepping on stage or just trying to lose weight, it's all in your head? Welcome, guys. Welcome to episode 2. This video is going to be all about mindset, overcoming fear, and realistic goal setting. And these are the foundation for whatever you want to achieve, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed the rant in episode 1, which was basic nutrition essentials, covering just the basics. So, anyways, let's dive into this. Mental preparation is crucial for both whether you're competing as a high level athlete or just everyday people, you know, no matter what it is. Whether you're prepping for a show, prepping, let's say, for the Olympics, or you just want to feel confident in your clothes, look good in the mirror, look good and feel confident when you walk outside. Your mindset can make and break your success on any level. I know this. I've been through it. So let's define mindset. Let's dive into this a little bit more. Mindset is your basic mental filter. It's how you interpret your challenges, failures, and successes. And that same mindset is what keeps you going after your failures or your successes. All right. So, for example, let's take high level athletes, competitors, the intense training, the strict dieting. A strong mindset is going to handle the pressure. It's going to help you overcome those days where you don't feel good. You know, when you're a high level athlete, and let's say that's your basic income, is to do what you have to do for that paycheck, you're going to do whatever you have to do to get through those workouts. All right. I know this because I was there. There was so many times where I felt like shit. I was tired. I was literally sleeping in my car in the parking lot before I was going into that gym. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some times where, listen, I probably needed to rest. But when it was come time to like competition, you better have gotten your rest in that night before. And you have to get in every day because every day counted. And that counts for, I think, all athletes that are trying to go to the highest level. So I'm going to go back and forth between competitive athletes and like everyday normal people, because that's what I'm trying to do is help all realms. So for everyday people who are juggling work, family, personal goals, a resilient mindset is going to keep you going when life is hectic. This I know as well. I mean, I juggled multiple things when I was getting ready for shows. There was times where I was working. I was working at night. I was going to school, full time and getting ready for shows, So it's going to be your mindset that decides if you stick with your plan or you're going to go after that goal, or you're going to skip today because it's too hard, or I'm too busy, or I'm too tired. All right. So it's all about weighing out the positive and negatives, self talk in your head. All right. Example, if you consistently say, I'll never reach my goal, or like I talked in over a month ago about people saying, don't let people say you can't in your life. You're going to let that negativity be reinforced as a loop in your brain. Okay. And that's not a good thing. You can't let that happen. I was faced with this personally my whole life, and from somebody who was closest to me. It was always negative. There was nothing ever positive. Like, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. You can do this. So you got to switch that. switch that in your head that to I can do this. You just need a plan and watch how your actions are going to change. You have to just step by step plan everything out, whether it's your vision board, whatever it is. You know? Sorry about that. I got lost in my thoughts there for a little second. I was just thinking about what happened in my life. So let's talk about overcoming failures and fears. For example, competitors, fear of not placing, disappointing your coaches, maybe, or failing after dedicating months to a prep. Listen, this is all learning experiences, okay? As long as you know that you put every ounce of effort you did every day for that prep, whether it be everything that includes a prep, meals, sleep, training, cardio, everything. It all matters. As long as you can step off that stage or whatever sport you're in and leave that octagon or that ring, whatever it is, know that you put every day 100% in. And no matter how you're judged, because bodybuilding, let's say, for example, is very subjective, you know that you did your best, okay? You're going to get judged no matter what. Whether it's a win-loss sport, weightlifting, MMA, boxing, wrestling, whatever it may be. And for everyday people, just the fear of starting. Let's say, for example, being judged at the gym. I hear this always. Listen, let me tell you something. Coming from a bodybuilder that I've been to tons of gym around the world, nobody cares who else is in the gym. I never judged, nor did I care if somebody was in a gym. If somebody was starting out, I would help them out. If they needed help, if I saw them doing something wrong, if they're overweight, you know what? Good for you that you're in the gym. All right. Another thing, you're not seeing results quickly. You think you're like wasting your time. No, you're not. Every day is a step forward. All right. You just want to keep going. It's consistency. Like I said before, consistency is key. So here's an example, fear. Another example of fear. It disguises us in many ways. Like maybe I'm too old. I'm too out of shape to start. I'm not good enough. All these things can ruminate in your head and stop you from going after your goals. Let me tell you something. This is very personal. And some of you may know, some of you may not have known. I had to get a neck surgery in 2015 where they replaced the disc. Within 8 months, I was back on stage. Was I at my best? No. I looked at that. I was like, yeah, I was done. Because the amount of time that I had put in, I was already kind of getting burnt out at that point. But you know what? I knew in myself I had one more time that I wanted to step on stage and let's see what I could do without having all that pain. So I set a plan. I wrote it on the calendar. This is the surgery date. This is my recuperation time. And this is how I'm going to start. Let me tell you something. When you're throwing around a ton of weight and you have to start back from ground zero, weights that you did weights that I did when I was like maybe 18 years old, it sucked. It sucked. I did not want to be in the gym. I did not want to be in the gym. After all those years of loving the gym and going back and forth, I hated it, but I had to do it. I had to work myself back up, but I did. And I got back to being on stage around 232. It wasn't my heaviest because I should have taken more time. But the thing is, the main important takeaway from this is I didn't quit. So for competitors, reframe things in your head. Each show or competition that you do is feedback. It's not a final verdict on your potential. It just isn't. Maybe at some point, if you're continuously getting beat and you know you're doing your best, maybe it's not for you. But you're not going to be your best right off the bat. There's many times in the history of bodybuilding that somebody just turned pro and placed in Olympia or even got to the Olympia the first year out. Now let's go to everyday people. Every missed workout or a cheat meal, it's a lesson. It's a lesson in consistency. It's not a sign to quit. It's going to happen, okay? But don't let it snowball. Don't let it just continue. Oh God, I cheated. Fuck it. I can't do this. No, it's going to happen. Let me tell you, personally, again, I did my first show. You know how many times I cheated my first show? I was 19 years old. You're eating so clean and you have that taste of something sweet, you can't control it. I must have at least cheated about 5 times getting ready for my first show. But I didn't quit. I just got back to the gym and just got back on track. And every show, I just reinforced, like, hey, listen, that food is always going to be there. Okay. And I tell people this all the time. Food will always be there. But that show, that competition, whatever you're getting ready for, is only for that day. And it only happens so often. All right. So here's a little quote for you. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the success. And when you can embrace that, you're a winner. I say to myself, and I said this a long time ago, when you know how to lose, you become a winner. Because people that quit just because they've lost, you're a loser. I'm sorry to say, you're a loser. Shit's not always going to go your way. Things are not going to always be in your favor. There's going to be obstacles no matter what you do in life, whether you're an athlete or an ordinary person. So a little suggestion may be like write down your specific fears and then brainstorm on solutions or how to reframe those fears. All right. So for example, if your fear is not losing weight fast enough, reframe it to like, let's say, for example, I might not lose 10 pounds this month, but I can lose 4 to 5 pounds and still be on track. I always say, whether it's competing or it's in life in general, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon, okay? And people who've been in the business I've been in the health and fitness industry for 30 years. I've seen people who blow up, come out of the gates quick. They gain real quick, but they burn out very quickly too. So that's where I go upon my next topic is setting realistic goals. So if you set the bar too high, it's going to lead to burnout. Just exactly what I said. You're going to burn out quick. I mean, prime example is look at Dexter Jackson. The people that lasted longest knew how to take time off, give their body breaks, and continue. There are specific times of the year that they competed. If you competed all year long, you can't do that. The body's not going to sustain. It will start to shut down, But then you set the bar too low, it leads to no progress at all. All right. So going back to competitors again, align with your competition phases. Off season, improve on your weak points. All right. Improve. Give your body more time to recuperate. You can't keep pushing. I did this and I burnt myself out. I was able to last a long time, but I pushed my body to signs of adrenal fatigue and failure. I did go to the hospital. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, there's no such thing. Yes, there is. When your cortisol is practically 1 or 2, that's a very bad sign. Okay? That's not good. So adjust your year or whatever it is, your time frame accordingly. Your off season, your improvements, pre-contest, peak week, fine tuning, whatever it may be. You know, if you're 20 weeks out, set your mini goals every 4 weeks. You know, focus on your body composition. That's what I do with my clients. Like, I'll take a client, I'll look at their body, and that's why I've had so much success with my clients, is because I actually do their workouts for them. I write everything for them. So if I see somebody and they've been doing their own thing for, let's say, 15, 20 years, obviously it's not working because they haven't turned pro, or whatever the case is, they haven't won a show. But I can look from the outside in, say, okay, well, you know what? We need a little bit of width on your shoulders. We need a little bit outward sweep on your quads. We need a little bit more glute hamstring tie-in. Or let's say the lats are too high. We need more lower lats. I design workouts for them to balance the body. All right. That's why I am so strict with my clients to say, send me weekly pictures, or in the off season every 2 weeks. Okay. Because we got to keep things tight still, you know, or specific like posing improvements on your posing. When you have an experienced eye, you can help people with all these. So back down again to, let's go to like everyday individuals. Break your larger goals into smaller milestones. Like example, 1 to pound, you know, if you want to lose weight, 1 to 2 pounds per week, or adding weight to the bar. You want to be realistic. You know, unless you're, you know, supplementing, which I'll get into that later. You know, 5 to 10 pounds to a lift like each month. So some of you may think that's like that's slow, but hey, it's consistent. So aim to hit the gym at least 3 times a week. In the beginning, don't go full force. You'll burn yourself out. Even whether you're an advanced athlete, even when I came back after taking time off, after shows, I would take a week off. I would still come back slowly, not come back and hit it hard again. You're going to burn out. And then people will just say, oh, I can't do this. I can't do what I used to. Well, you gained 30 pounds after a show. You ate a bunch of junk. You're screwing with your metabolism. And then you want to come back and try and be as lean as you were like a couple of weeks prior. It's not going to happen. You know, then you want to kill yourself on cardio. So what are you going to do? You're eventually going to burn yourself out again. So just build your momentum back slowly. A month is a month. It's not a big deal. You know, be specific and set smart goals. Achievable, relevant, and in a timely manner. So, example again, I want to lose, like, let's say 10 pounds, or you're getting ready for a show. Depending on how heavy you are, you need either 12 or 16 weeks. You know, you want to track your protein, carbs, and fats, write everything down. I have notes from when I did the California, when I did my first show. You got to follow a structured meal plan. Example here, my meal plan, whatever this may be, okay? Put a piece of tape on it, stick it on your fridge. That's what I did every show. My off days, I knew what I had to eat. It was right on the fridge. My training days, this is what I had to eat. My low carb days, my high carb days. You know, you've got to do this. You can't just keep everything in your head and expect everything to work. So just stay on track. If you stay on track and you're consistent, it will work. But sometimes some people need accountability, and that's where coaches come in, or teams. You have to be accountable to your coach. And one thing I always say is just be honest. Don't lie to your coach. If your coach is telling you something to do, if it's not working, hey, listen, give him feedback. I tell my clients all the time, give me feedback. Is this food digesting well with you? Is it not? How are you feeling? Is it too much workload that I gave you? Are you recuperating? You know, honest feedback. Don't just tell me things to, make me happy, because I can see it in the pictures. A good coach can eye things and catch you in a lie. So you're paying the money to a coach. Why lie to them? You know what I'm saying? So for everyday people, maybe find a workout buddy, join a local group, get an online coach, but a reputable online coach, not some of these influencers, I have to say, because a lot of these things, most of them are cookie cutter diets. And I will stress in this in one of the rants, okay, later on. I was lucky enough, 2009, 2010, getting ready for shows, that I had somebody waiting for me at the gym to push me through my workouts, because that was a hard period of my life. I couldn't bail on him, but I knew at the same time I had to be there because I had to respect his time. Was there times I was late? Yes. And that was my bad. I apologize for it. But it helped. It helped even me. Even high level athletes, we need help at times. So another thing also you can do for yourself, and I use this as well, everything I'm talking to you about, I've done. Visualize and do your affirmations. I would sit there and visualize how it would feel to have my name called finally as new IFBB Pro. One thing I used was The Secret. Affirmations, positive affirmations. Visualizing helps. It reduces your anxiety. It keeps your eye on the prize. It keeps you like the eye of the tiger. I hear stories now of like how I used to be. I didn't know that I was like this. That I would just go in the gym and people are like, oh, fuck, Abbas is here. Well, I just went to the gym because I knew I had a goal I wanted to achieve. And I didn't talk to people. It wasn't that I was mean or arrogant. I just had my job to do, So whether it's, example, getting ready for a show or hitting that PR at your next like weightlifting meet, or walking, as I tell all my clients, walk on stage with confidence, because the judges can see when you're nervous. They will pick you apart. I tell my clients before they get on stage, walk on that fucking stage like you own that motherfucker. Don't be cocky, but don't look down. Keep your head up and be proud of what you did. That mental rehearsal makes a real thing happen, and it makes it very familiar. So when you walk on that stage, you're comfortable. I never had this told to me. I just knew in my heart what I wanted and what I knew I could achieve within myself. So that being said, for competitors, or just regular people trying to get in shape, celebrate you getting back into the clothes that you used to fit into. Celebrate the fact that you stuck to your diet for a week straight. That doesn't mean go and cheat. Oh, can I have a cheat meal? No, I'm not saying that. But be proud of yourself, okay? The small wins keep you motivated for the long haul. I'm playing two different roles here. High-level athletes, mindset, and basic people who are just starting out mindset. Because I've been there. I didn't think about these things until reviewing my career, what I did. And I wrote notes down. I was like, this is what I did. Not while I was competing did I write these notes down. I looked back upon my life and saw how I overcame obstacles, being a beginner, going through the ranks, having so many setbacks, and not letting it bother me. There was times on stage where I should have won. The crowd booed. I was just like, it's okay. It's okay. Because I knew within myself what was happening. Just be proud of what you do. You'll always be proud of what you do when you do it with integrity. And you do it with your wholeheartedness, knowing that you did not, when you can leave that cage, that ring, that stage, whatever it may be, knowing that you put your all into it every day, doesn't matter what happens. Because you know inside yourself what you did. All right. So I can go back and I'll tell you one more story, which I touched upon years into the game. I had gone through some, I don't know how it happened, why it happened, where it came from, to be honest. I went through some major depression. And I was prepping for the North Americans again. I'd won it in 2004. Won not the overall, my weight class, super heavy. Lost the overall by a point. So there was a few years there where I was contemplating quitting, coming back. I mean, I never quit. I always trained. But each year was getting progressively harder because I was winning, but I wasn't winning overall because it was very hard back then to turn pro. It wasn't like it is now. Total throughout all the shows, the North Americans, USAs, and Nationals was a total of 8 to 9 guys total a year that would turn pro. North Americans was one guy. I did a few other shows. I think Nationals in between 2004 to 2006, 7. 2006, I came back. I really wasn't at my best. I got third. That was like killed me. Going from first at the North Americans to third. Then I revisited, hey, listen, I need to get my ass back in gear. That's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to go out like that. I had set a goal in my mind at 18 years old that I was going to turn pro. And again, like I said earlier, revisit what keeps you straight. And I set a personal goal for myself that when I did my first show, I knew I was going to turn pro. I just knew. I remember even having my own father saying, 1 in 1,000 people turn pro. As I'm getting out of that van that he dropped me off at the gym, I said, I'm going to be one of those 1,000 people. So going back, let's go full circle again to, let's say, 2008, 9, 10. 9 and 10 was very bad for me. That's when I had, luckily, people in the gym to push me and be there for me. I was very lucky to have those people. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have done the shows. I remember 2009, I came back. I didn't quit, but I came back. Every day I was in a fog. I had a very good friend of mine who wanted to train with me. He's like, Abbas, can I come train with you? Nobody knew I had depression. I had the pillow over my head, everything. I said, yeah, you can train with me, no problem. Even in the state that I was in, this guy was a great friend of mine, younger than me, kind of looked up to me. He was a great athlete himself. He was pretty much an Olympic level swimmer, but some back problems happened to him. He couldn't continue. He had actually tried out for the Olympic team, but couldn't go forward because of some back issues. So he gained weight. I said, yeah, you can train with me. But I said, under one condition. He didn't know what was going on. I said, you have to come and pick me up which is like 4 to 5 days a week, and go to the gym. You have to come pick me up because I didn't want to drive. It was that bad. So in turn, that forced me to train at a level because I didn't want anybody knowing what I was going through. And that was hard. Nobody helped me through that whole couple of years. Nobody knew what I was going through. I was just lucky enough to have 2 people help me through those times, to be there and train with me. And I appreciated it so much. I don't know what it was. Maybe my affirmations and me putting it out there to the world. But 2009 again, North Americans won the super heavies. Lost an overall, and everybody was talking about me. Lost the overall to Sean Roden. He wasn't even in my sights. I'll show pictures later on. May he rest in peace. He was a great guy. Our first show, my first show, him and I competed against each other. We were 19 years old. 2010 comes around. I do North Americans again. I'm totally depressed still, but I'm still pushing through. People came to my room calling me, Abbas, you're going to win. So let me tell you something, guys. At that point, I had been so close, but lost by 1 point each time. I was like, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this. Until my name is called, I'm not the winner. I said, until the fucking fat lady sings, I have not won shit yet. Until they say new IFBB Pro, I didn't win. No matter what, I won first place. I still didn't get my pro card. So let me tell you, that's some deep stuff right there. So take away from that, it's all in your mind and how you can shift things into a positive outcome and outlook and realistic goal setting. I mean, I push the limits. Not everybody can do that. It's very hard when you have depression to overcome a lot of things. So anyways, sorry about that. Somebody text. If I look back now and I think about it, if I let that fear of that depression stop me, I would never have known my true potential. And I remember the last North Americans, 12 weeks out, I was eating with my father. We're having sushi because my cheat days would be sushi. All you can eat sushi. And I sat there like, Dad, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And now that I'm talking about this, going back to 2006 or 2005, I took off because I was so burnt out at one point doing multiple shows. And then a very close friend of mine passed away. I had to take the year off. I just couldn't do it. I was driving to the gym one day and I pulled over. I said, I just can't do this. I even have it in my notes because I have like notepads of years writing down. I said, I'm getting burnt out. My friend passed away. I can't do this. I'm not going to do this show. I took 2005 off. That's when I came back in 2006. I got third at North American. So from going to first to third again, setbacks. But, once you reframe your failures and take as that feedback, let's say whether it be from the judges or if you lost your fight or you lost the meet, no matter what it is, you have to sit back at times, take a deep breath, and just look at it from a different perspective. especially if you have like a very good coach on your side. I didn't have this. A good coach can have you set back. No matter how much you're in your head, it may not register at the time, because I've had this happen with clients where I'm like, hey man, you've done great. You don't understand what you've done. And I don't bullshit people. It may not register at the time, but when you set back after a couple weeks, when the high of the doing the show is worn off, oh yeah, shit, he was right. Look at what I did in 12 weeks just by listening. When you listen to somebody who's been through everything in 30 years, that will help you reframe what happened if it didn't go your way, and you can look at it from a different view. So, anyways, guys, again, I'm going to say this and I'm going to reiterate this. Mindset is your foundation of everything. And fear of failure, it's normal. Acknowledge it, reframe it. But one thing I have to point out, and I see this a lot, people trying to get acknowledgement or feel better about themselves, but they're talking to the wrong people. They're talking to people who have no experience in telling them anything. So go and talk to somebody who's been through it all so they can help you guide the way. And then on top of everything, set realistic incremental goals. Whether you're an athlete or just a regular person just getting into shape or whatever you want to do, and just be consistent, you know? So everybody out there, that's why I say, and I've said this before, be positive. Be positive with people, but be real. Don't be negative, don't be mean, but be positive. Somebody's on their journey for themselves, no matter what it is, to better themselves, be positive for them. And for the people on that journey, don't let negativity get in your head. Don't let it mess with your head, okay? Let's help each other out here. Let's all be positive for each other. This world is too much negativity. So remember, the one thing that stands between you and your goals is your mindset, and you bring to the table all your efforts. And on that note, let's all be a source of inspiration for one another. All right? Let's do this. Stay tuned for the next episode. A lot more to come. I hope you guys enjoyed it.